Hello everyone, welcome to the next session of this training. In this particular session, we are going to discuss about operation mode. First of all, we need to understand what is this operation mode. In general, we seen that you have dialog work process and background work process generally executing some task which is coming from the user. Either it is executed online using dialog work process, or it could be also possible that we execute some of these jobs or some of these tasks in background. In general, if you see the workload or usage of the system in the dialog work process will be very high during the office hours, meaning to say that all the users who are going to work in the ERP system will be executing some transactions, some business transactions using dialog work process in the daytime, in the office hours. It is also possible that you execute some of the jobs using background jobs. However, you may have some background jobs which requires more resource. Probably you will come to a conclusion that you will execute all the background jobs in the night time. Means that in the night time you do not have any users in the system, the activity in the system is quite less. So you are going to execute some background jobs, all background jobs. It could be also possible the background work process which we have scheduled. In general, in the daytime you will have more dialog work process and less background work process. This background work process may not be enough in the night time because you may be executing more number of jobs. So in that case, you have quite a lot of resources which is available in the dialog work process which is not used in the night time. It is possible in our SAP system we can switch or we can use the resource which is available for the dialog work process to execute some of the background jobs. Means that we can reduce the number of dialog work process and increase the number of background work process without restarting the system. So this will give you additional resource. You execute more background jobs during the night time or during the non-office hours. So you have more resources on the background work process in the night time or non-office hours, and you have more resources in the dialog work process in the daytime, that is in the working hours. So like this we can switch the resources which is available in the ERP system. So this is what we call as operation mode. Basically what we are trying to do here is a kind of a load distribution. So here, typical example, you see that we have two instances. This daytime mode. In the daytime mode you have instance 1 you have 2 background work process. In the instance 2 you have 2 background work process. Here you have 3 dialog work process. Here we have 4 dialog work process. In the night time, when we use this operation mode, we can switch. You can have more background work process in the night time and less dialog work process. Similarly, in the instance 2 also we can have more background work process and less dialog work process. So this is called operation mode. So using this operation mode, you can distribute the load between daytime and nighttime. This is a very interesting concept in order to have a load balancing or load distribution in your ERP system. So how do we set up a operation mode? First, what we need to do is we need to create an operation mode, let's say daytime or nighttime. It depends. You does not need that you need to have it as day and night. You can have a different operation mode for each hours. It's also possible. So this is just a typical example. Generally, it's done like this because this is the basic requirement. You need to have more dialog work process in the office hours and more background work process in the non-office hours. So this is the way it has been used. So it does not mean that you want to stick to this plan. You can have multiple operation modes. So first we need to create an operation mode, this kind of a container. Then we will create an operation mode. Then we need to set up the distribution method inside this operation mode. Then we need to adjust the operation mode and we need to define the schedule. Let's look into this in the system itself. It's actually quite easy to do this. Let's go to our SAP system and see how we can set up this operation mode. Okay, here we are in our SAP system, ECC. First one we need to do is we need to create the operation mode, kind of a container. Okay, for this we need to go to the transaction RZ04, or you could also go by the menu path. So you go to tools, then go to CCM, then go to configuration, and you can see here RZ04 operation mode instances. Okay, go to RZ04. Here you can see this system is first system. So let's create an operation mode. Let's say create. So the operation mode, let's give a name, reset underscore day. Yeah, short description, let's say operation mode day. Okay, we won't create any variants here, just simply save it. Okay, this is basically a small naming container. Let's create one for night. Let's say z underscore operation mode night. So now we have created two operation modes. Now we need to assign the work process within this operation mode. For this we need to go to instance / operation modes. Here you can define the operation mode. What we could do is we can automatically generate the instance in the same pattern right now what we have. For that, what we can do, we go to settings based on current status, then go to new instances and say generate. So if you see here, it automatically generates two operation mode, z underscore day and z underscore night, the containers which we have created. Now you can also see that it assigned some of the work process. DIA is a dialog work process. This is a background work process, pool, update to enqueue. All the work process with the present status is assigned to this operation mode. So basically you simply generating an operation mode. Instead of creating it, you can simply generate it. So this is an easier way to do it. So first let's check the day. Is that day? This is exactly what we want. Okay, so let it be like this. Let's go to the night. Night only we wanted to decrease the dialog work process and increase the background work process. So keep the cursor in the background work process and simply increase it. Now if you see that the dialog work process getting decreased and the background work process getting increased. Okay, and it's not affecting anything else because you need to have this many work process for others, because yeah, that's a mandatory requirement. Then let's say increase it. At the moment now, if you see, now we have 6 dialog work process and 7 background work processes. Now we need to save this. Okay, save it. So now we have defined z day will have 10 dialog work process and 3 background work process. Z night will have 6 dialog work process and 7 background work process. Save it. Now go back. Now we have created the operation mode and we also define what are all the work process or how the work process are distributed. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to define when is the daytime starting or when is the nighttime starting. Okay, for that we need to assign this in the calendar. Okay, we have another transaction SM63 operation mode calendar. So simply go to this transaction. You can see normal operation, that is in 24 hours format. Go to the change mode. Now if you see, you can see from 00 to 24. Okay, 23 to 00, that is 24. So this is a time distribution. So at the moment we are in this time zone. Yeah, that's the reason it's pointing it here. So we can assign the operation mode for each hours, or we can also assign to multiple hours. Let's say if I double click all of this, you can see that color is changing. That means it is selected. Let's say till morning 8 o'clock, I want to have night mode from night 00 to 08. I want to assign night. Let's say assign operation mode. Let's select the operation mode. We have two operation mode night. So from 8 till 18. So I want to assign this is for the day. Okay, again 18 to 00, I want to assign night. Okay, so we assigned from 00 to 8 a.m. This is the night mode. Then 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. day mode. Then 6 p.m. to 00 again night mode. Okay, this is the way we can distribute the operation mode. As I said, it does not mean that you need to have only two, day and night. You can also have multiple. It's depending on how the system are being used. If you are in a different time zone, you will have different users coming from different countries. Then you want to distribute it in a different way for over the period of the another 5-6 hours. That's also possible. Yeah, so you can have multiple modes here. So let's save these changes. Okay, we saved it. Now we need to wait till the night time comes. However, it is also possible that we can switch the operation mode manually. Okay, so for that we have a transaction code RZ03. It's a control panel. Here you can see RZ03. Okay, now you can see the operation mode at the moment is Z day. Okay, so we can switch the operation mode. Go control switch operation mode, all server. We wanted to switch it to night. So first choose the operation mode, choose to night, but this is not active. We just only selected. Okay, now you go to control switch operation mode, all server, switch all server to night mode. Say yes. Okay, now it is switched. Now if you go and check the work process distribution, let's say /n sum50, you see the first work process 0 is background, then you have 3 dialog work process, then 1 background work process, 1 dialog work process, another 2 background work process, 2 dialog work process. So it equally distributed. You can see how many dialog work process we have. 1 2 3 4 5 6 dialog work process. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 background work process. So it switched to night mode manually. And one more thing we need to understand, if you see here the process ID, this process ID is basically given by the operating system, that this plus work. So this process ID is not changed. It will never change because the process ID will remain as far as the OS is concerned. We are just reusing the same process ID and the resource given for the specific process. So the process ID will never change. And you will also have something in your mind now, like what happens if, let's say, there are some users which already exist in the specific dialog work process. For example, this used to be a dialog work process before, and let's assume there was a user working on this specific work process. Then what happened to that users? In that case, it will wait till that specific process is completed. Okay, it's not like you switch to a night mode, then kick all the users out, then it will go to background. No, the SAP will wait till that specific process is completed. So you will not find any disturbance during the operation. Okay, so this is operation mode. So if you wanted to switch it back, you can also switch it back. Go to RLZ 03. Now it is day. Let's change it to day. Switch to all server today. Now if we go to /NSM50, you can see it is changed. Okay, it is changed. You can also see that the background work process is now 4th, 6th and 7th is changed to background. Others, everything is changed to dialog. Okay, right now we do not really have any users in the system. There is no load in the system. That's the reason, it's coming quite fast. If, as I said, if there is some user, some process going on, then it will wait till that process is completed. Okay, with this we are coming to end of this particular session. Thank you very much for listening. I will see you in the next session. Bye bye.